In the last video, we uploaded reads to the workspace. So now let's try submitting the job. So let's go into Tools and Services, and under Metagenomics, click on Taxonomic Classification. So you can find reads in a number of ways. You could start typing here if you knew what they were called. You could click the down arrow to see the most recent reads. You could navigate to them in your workspace. So you click on that and then you click on created. At least I do, because remember, I've talked to you about this before. I have a lot of folders, so I wanted to navigate to where that one is, and it was recently created. And so I want to take the first read, and these are paired reads. So I've got the first member of the pair, and then I'll do the same thing, navigating to that folder, and there is the second member of the pair. So once those are in there, you notice that it starts to identify the sample. You can put other things in here, like I might call them unknown paired reads, because we don't know what's in here. I know where these came from, but you don't know, or we're pretending you don't know. Now, there's this selected libraries box here. I have to move the samples from the input file over to the selected libraries. So I click on that arrow, and there they are. If I wanted to remove them, I could click on the X here, that would remove them. If I want to see what they are, I can click on the information icon, and it tells you what the reads are, what is in this paired set, and where they are located within my workspace. Okay. And you can do a bunch of these at once. We're just going to do one, but you can do several. And if you do several or many, you can get these alpha and beta diversity statistics for your sample. But right now, we're just going to stick with one. Let's scroll down to the parameters. So we need to fill these things out and make some choices before we go on. Notice that we now have 16S ribosomal RNA analysis if somebody has that kind of data. But this is whole genome sequencing, also called WGS. So that's what we're going to start with. So our first decision is, what type of analysis do we want to do? When we have whole genome sequencing done, we can do microbiome analysis or species identification. Now, this is a microbiome data set, so we're going to stick with that. We can choose the database. Do we want it to be the BVBRC database or the Kraken-2 standard database? This particular pipeline is built on Kraken-2. I think I'm just going to click on that this time, and we'll use that. Do we want to filter the host reads? And if so, this comes from a human, so we could click on Homo sapiens. Why don't we just do that? Let's just click on it and remove the host reads from this sample, and at least we'll see how many there are. And we want the confidence interval. And I generally, if I don't really understand, if I'm a new user and I don't understand what these things are, I leave it at that set. But if you wanted to know what the confidence interval was, you could click on that, and it adjusts the labels up the tree until the label scores meet that threshold. So it's talking about the confidence that the reads are within that taxonomy. So it's talking about a taxonomy tree. Do you want to save the classified sequences and save the unclassified sequences? Why not? Why not? We're getting to know this tool. Let's do it. Let's just try different things for it. Now we have to do an output folder. When this turns blue, we can submit the job. So we have two things left to do. You know, if I click down on this, it'll show me the most recently created output folders. And up here, this is the folder we created earlier. It's where our reads are. So I'm going to click that, and we still have one thing left to do. We need to name this job. So I'm going to call it Unknown Reads Tax class. And then I like to tell what the analysis type is and what the database is. I've run a lot of jobs. If you look down here, there's more than 6,000 jobs on this resource. So I want to be able to find it. So I'm going to call it microbiome and Kraken. Okay, it's blue. We can submit it. So let's click on the submit button. And it's giving me a message. It's saying that the job has been successfully submitted, and we'll need to visit our jobs list to check the status of the job. Now remember, these read files took a long time to upload. This is a big file. It's a big, complex metagenomic file. It's going to take a while. So we're going to let this cook for a while. It won't do us any good to go over here and click on the jobs and look now, because this is going to take hours to run depending on the queue. So when it's done, we'll come back and we'll look at the results. In the meantime, kick back, put your feet up, and dream about the wonderful results we'll see in this analysis. See you later. Bye.